Hello guys, this is Street Cat from Street Cat Art, and I wanted to make an introduction video for you guys, anyone who might be starting to follow me, anyone who decides to follow me in the future, just to have a little bit of a reference point of the artists behind the art. I'm going to go over the art I have around me. I'll probably throw in a couple of my digital sketches. I do all kinds of art. I tend to stick towards people, but I do digital, I do oil painting, I do watercolor, pen and paper, pencil and paper. I do a lot of digital art just mainly because it's very forgiving. That way I can draw more things and not ruin the paper. But right now, I am doing this sketchbook, and my goal with this sketchbook is I want to fill it with things that pertain to a story that I've been working on for a few years. And I'm hoping by the time I fill it all up, I'll be ready to start maybe creating that story into a manga. But mainly it's a thing that keeps me creating. So I'm just going to go through this and give YouTube my best shot. This character is Jasper. It says Jasper Finch. I'm going to try to describe these characters without going into too much detail, because if I ever do write it, I don't want all the plot twists spoiled, you know. This is Jasper in the beginning of the story. So the character I had fleshed out first for him, this is later in the story. I love I love him. But these are early in the story. This is what he will start out like. I've already got a pretty good idea of how we get from this point to this point. I'm going through the sketchbook. I'm trying to do character design. I've mainly just drawn people, but now I'm working on the actual character design aspect of it. This would be the first page I've ever drawn that is dedicated towards somewhat character designing, even though I don't think it's proper character designing. So like here, he has a necklace that he always wears. It's in all of them, except that one. But, so what I did was I went ahead, alright, so that's what the gem looks like, and that's what the cord of the necklace looks like. These are his ravens. They are part of another power that he has. That is not openly discussed in the beginning of the story. And these, he can use them for a lot of things, but we're gonna say for the main part, he uses them as a way to collect information or spy. We're going over, like, if you see any time in my sketchbook, like, boxed off eyes, that's me trying to decide what the eyes look like close up. If there's differences between, like, pretty sure this is his eye later on. Let's see. That's hard to tell from that sketch. I do have a digital sketch of this. I will crop that in there because he was first drawn digitally, and then I went through and I redrew that same picture in this sketchbook for the character design, and I'll just stitch that in. But yeah, that's, you know, that's what those boxes are, trying to get a feel for what the eyes look like. This is the second page of Jasper's character design. It would be technically a plot spoil, but that's okay. And it's sort of like his alter ego or something along those lines. His sword is made of shadows, and here is just me trying to get an idea of what it would look like outside of his hand, but I do need to do some weapon studies. That's one thing, if you follow my channel, I will talk about probably with all of, you know, if anyone asks me for help, I don't know if I should be helping anyone, but if anyone asks me for help, it's always going to be, like, you got to do the studies on the thing you're trying to draw. So I had to do so much anatomy for people, because, you know, I draw people, and even though I want to draw, you know, a manga, I still have to learn proper anatomy. So I do have, you know, if you want any recommendations, I have Drawing Anatomy and Drawing Figures by Barrington Barber, and then I also have his complete drawing guide. And then I have Manga Art Secrets, and then these are, I break my Tokyo Ghoul illustration books out whenever I am in some kind of rut. I need to break some rust off. And that's what those are. So, yeah, I'll have to do weapon designs. This is a little bit better, and I have, like, information written about it. But this is Everlyn Vespertine. I'm not a huge fan of how cliche the names sound in some sense for when you're writing, like, someone's writing a book. You know, when I was a teenager, when we would write stories, we'd always pick, like, kind of names like that. It makes me feel silly, but it was I was looking into the meanings and I picked the names specifically. But this is her, and she was one I had a really hard time nailing down, even though she's like the lead main character of the story that I'm writing. It was really hard to visualize her. It was one of those things because I've got to create her one way for the beginning, and then I have to have an idea for when she's kind of like a badass later in the story. But this is her first character, like real character design. She's been kind of just an image in my brain, like a blurry photograph. You can't quite remember. She does have a snake tattoo. I have gone over a couple for her. It is has to do with what she's affiliated with in the story. And this is just one design of them. I will clip in another version I had where it's like wrapped all the way around. So like the tail's here, it comes around, there's an apple and flowers here, and then it wraps back down her arm. I'm not sure. I just know that she has a snake tattoo. It is on her back. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I'm trying to get an idea what she would look like with short hair. This pomegranate tried to take me out when I was drawing it, because it's been a while since I did my fundamental practices. So, you know, all those little spheres and creating depth in them wasn't entirely fun. That's why I ran out of steam on the second page. And this is just her being fed up with my crap, because she knows I designed her storyline and she's sad about it. There I go with all my ums again. This is carrying on from her character design, though it hasn't finished. I was trying to get a feel, so she's definitely a dual-wield character, as you saw with the daggers on that page. I know she's going to switch to swords. She doesn't have magic at all in the beginning of the story, so you see this. That's later. I'm not going to tell you what kind of magic it is. But she is a character that goes through the entire story, and instead of being in league with, like, let's say her peers, she is a weapons fighter because she doesn't have magic for her advantage. So she can use any weapon, most likely, in the story. I'm just trying to pinpoint what are going to be signature weapons for her. And I want some kind of ribbon. I feel like red. Red is the theme, I feel like, of this. I think, the Red Strings of Fate. I don't know how many people have heard about that. Some people I know do, and then there's a lot of people I know that haven't. Just the idea of the... Is it... Oh, boy. I do believe it's Japanese. It might just be Asian culture. It's either Japanese or Chinese. The Red String of Fate is tied to the finger of soulmates, or people who are meant to be together. If you follow me on any social media, speaking of which, I tried to link it in my previous video I did of this, and then I deleted that video because I was too nervous in it. But I will try to link my Instagram and TikTok below if it'll let me. Last time it wanted me to verify my account because I've never really posted here before. Here we have a seraphim. It was practice. One of my characters is part seraphim, part god. And I've drawn him, actually. He was probably the first fleshed out character I had. His name is Leviticus, and I've drawn him a bunch, but this was the first time, just a few days ago, I decided, well, okay, what if he had these wings? And I have an idea for what these wings are going to do, but I've never drawn wings, so I had to go and I had to draw a seraphim, and I had to practice my wings, and then I just, a little fun thing to put them on him and see what they would look like. Here, I'm just gonna call him Bobby, because that's his first name, and I can't pronounce his last name. I was doing thumbnail sketching with him. He's a creature designer. He has some really fantastic videos on YouTube. He has a Discord. I'm using him right now to help me further bring this story to life. So this story is my tagline on my social media is the Slighted Gods and Split Souls. That is kind of what the story is, and I just feel like we have our seraphim, we have gods, we need creatures of some sort. So this was just practice, because I've never drawn creatures, to kind of get into the swing of it, get a feel for it. There will be more if creatures aren't your thing. I'm sorry, this is one of the things I'm going to have to practice. So you will be seeing them on my channel and on my TikTok and on my Instagram. None of these, I don't know, I kind of like this one. I kind of want him to be in my story, but we'll see. This reminds me of the Bloodborne creature. In the Chalice dungeons, when you get to the Ailing Lorraine ones, there's like those ladies with the long hair that attack you with like that big butcher's knife. That's what this reminds me of. And here we have, I'm doing some thumbnail sketching of places, scenery, landscapes. I don't really want to call them landscapes because they're not really, are they really landscapes? I'm not sure. These are actually photos. Most of these are photos I was sent over TikTok from like a dark fantasy, like little slideshow that my partner sent me. And I just wanted to get a feel because I am working on a city for my story. So that is a huge, great, giant tree. That is a castle attached to the tree. Then we have the upper city wrapping around. And then I still need to connect the lower city. You see, I just have a bunch of lines there. All the way down to here, which is where the base of the tree will be. And in order to do that, because I'm also not a landscape artist or a building artist, I've got to practice. Yeah. So that's probably what this channel will be. It'll be a lot of me drawing things, practicing them, trying to get a feel for the story and my characters. I'll show you some from my sketchbook like that. This is an old sketchbook. This is, probably this whole sketchbook is probably like 4 years of just empty pages. But it's around this sketchbook where I really started going in and, practicing. Taking seriously I have anatomy studies in here. I have a lot of anatomy studies on my tablet as well. Like clothes practice. Those are anatomy practices. Both of those images would be in the drawing figures or drawing anatomy Barrington Barber books. Got rose practice. I really like hands. Drawing hands. I used to hate drawing hands, and I've drawn them so much now to make up for the fact that I used to draw them behind my characters that now I love drawing them. Here we have, I started trying to get an idea of what the prominent, Vespertine's on a prominent family, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But what the family emblems are in my city. So we got the Rosendahl, Fickber, Vespertine, Rossettes, Markstein, Eschenberg, Eschber. Oh my gosh. I make up names and then I don't know how to pronounce them. So there is that. I do that. They're each going to have a family design. This is a city that is built at the base of a tree under the assumption that the gods have gone to sleep and are slumbering inside these colossal trees that inhabit the earth. And then that's this city that my characters are from. The Fickbur family is the founder of the city. And one of the things the Fickburs did was they collected every family, like, story, legend, myth passed down through the humans about whatever gods that they had. And so the Fickbur at the center of everything is actually, so the Rossetts own the crown, the Fickburgs operate the crown. Like, they control it from behind the scenes, and they have a lot of information about gods and stories and the rest of the world, because this city, these people don't leave this city very much. It's not an easy thing. There's huge gaps of terrain between cities. I don't know how to explain it. That is one thing I'll have to work on across this next year. But anyway. So I'm going to link in some of my digital art just to play while I talk in the background. It's going to have a couple different characters and story ideas in it. But I just wanted to say, let me know what you're interested in seeing. I do time lapses with music thrown over it, but I could do them with voiceovers. If you wanted tutorials, I don't know if I should be giving tutorials, but let me know like what you want to see, because I don't know how to YouTube, and I don't know what people would be interested in. I don't have any kind of set schedule I could give you for when videos would be uploaded, but I mean, if my YouTube gets some attention, I will figure that out. But I just don't know what people would be interested in seeing in correlation with my art. I could give you like my process. I could give you the advice that I know. But yeah, I mean, this is what I do. This is what I enjoy doing. And I'm just going to let the digital pieces flow through. And I just want to thank everyone that has commented or followed me for doing that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.